The table below shows the success rates of some other contraceptive methods. Using the information in the table below and your own knowledge, evaluate the methods of contraception for 6 marks. So as you can see from the mark scheme, there are loads of different points that you can get, and you only need to get 6 to get the 6 marks. To access those higher level marks, so 4, 5, 6, you need to make sure that you have at least one from each method, so one for condom, one for sterilisation, and one for implant. But ideally, you should have 2, at least 2 from each. So firstly, looking at condom, they have a high success rate. You can see that from the table, 98%. However, the success rate is only high when they are put on correctly. There's lots of things that can go wrong with condoms. They can be put on correctly, they can be out of date, they can be broken or teared. However, the most important thing about condoms is they are the only contraceptive method which also protects against STDs and STIs, sexually transmitted diseases and infections, so things like chlamydia and gonorrhea, for example. Sterilisation is another contraceptive method. It has the highest success rate. However, it's an operation, so it's an operation where occasionally they remove the reproductive organs of an individual, or in women they can tie the fallopian tubes to stop eggs from reaching the uterus. So it has the highest success rate of any contraceptive method, but any operation carries risk. So from infection, from the risk of having to go under an anaesthetic. It's also permanent. There's no way that it can be reversed. It's quite a dramatic way of contraception. It's not easy. It's quite expensive and difficult to do. There's no possibility, therefore, for future children. If it can't be reversed, then there's no way that person can then ever have children. There's also no protection against STDs or STIs if you undergo sterilisation. The implant has the lowest success rate. If you look at the table, it's only 95% of pregnancies prevented, but the success rate is still very high. It can remain in place for several years, so it's a small piece of plastic almost with artificial hormones in that is inserted into the arm of a woman. It can remain there for several years. However, there can be some side effects, so women can often feel nauseous, or they can suffer weight gain or headaches, for example. And there is no protection against STDs or STIs again. So to access the top marks, you need to create a balanced argument. You need to talk about the pros and cons of both, and you definitely need to include the success rates because that's the information they've given you in the table.